Hello. I said hello. You didn't hear me? No, I'm not streaming on mute. You must didn't hear me when I said hello the first time. The stream is not on mute. You probably got your phone on mute or your volume down low, but the stream is not on mute. If that was the case, I would have been known about it. But I'm looking at my microphone and it's not on mute. Okay. Then you might want to turn your phone off and restart it. If you can't hear me, then most likely that's on you and not me. You want to troll, that's what it is. You want to sit up here troll, you trolling. You can definitely hear me. I ain't gonna play around with you tonight. Turn the stream, but how the fuck you do that? Turn the stream value up and unmute. I can't do that. If something wrong with the value that's on your end, there's nothing wrong with the value on my end. I literally just got on live, not even 5 minutes ago. Just got on live. Hello, hello. Enough of the screen. Hello. Enough of the screen. Just for you to hear me. If you cannot hear, turn your phone off and restart it and turn your volume up. Make sure the volume on your phone is on. Because I'm not going to be up here all night showing. I already said. Oh, okay. That's what I thought. Because I'm not going to be up here all night doing it. Okay? People are trying to sleep. I'm not trying to yell and be rude. That's all you had to do. That's all you had to do was turn your volume up. And I told you that. Most likely it was your volume. I think what's gonna happen I'm gonna talk about a little bit of what's gonna happen over the summer and stuff, But since me and my sister got into that fight the other day about me not wanting to cook for her company, most likely if we do still decide to move in with each other, um, I think it's best for us to like just get our own separate refrigerator. You know what I'm saying? Because when I try to come up with rules, but sit her down to talk about rules, she felt like I was being petty, and that's not just the case. That wasn't the case at all. But I'm thinking about like just let her have the main refrigerator that comes with the house, and then I just why not buy my own separate because I'm tired of people always thinking, oh, this food is there, that food is theirs, or whatever the case might be. But already knew that I already knew majority of the food is gonna come off of my credit card anyway. You know, but one thing for sure, like anytime I had a roommate, I made sure that the refrigerator was stocked up. We had fish, chicken, beef, all kind of vegetables in there, drinks for days. Like I had that shit stocked up to the brim, to the point where we should not be like ordering out as much. And I get like she don't want to eat with me all the time, and I get that. But I already told her, you know, how my work schedule was gonna be. I told her how my work schedule was gonna be, and I said that I was gonna work 20 hours a day, not 20 hours a week, 20 hours a day. So that's a 16-hour shift already, with 4 hours, about 4 hours added to that make it 20. So I'm gonna be at work most of the time. So I'm not gonna always have time to come home and cook every single day. Okay. I'm already exhausted for getting all kind of shit thrown at me at work, from employees, other employees, and then the clients, but they sit up here be a butthole. So like by the time I get home, hell yeah, I'm not gonna wanna cook anything. I barely gotta have energy to make me a peanut butter jelly sandwich. Okay. So, like, when I come home, I'm gonna already put in my order and be like, yes, I got home before my order. All I gotta do is go downstairs, get my food, eat, go to bed. 'Cause that's how normally it is, anyways. When you work a certain amount of hours, you're gonna be too tired to cook. Okay, you're gonna be too tired to cook. But when I do have the energy and I invite my friends over, or whatever the case might be, that's just me inviting my friends over, and I'm gonna make sure they eat. But my sister, if she wanna invite her friends over, okay, cool. But I'm not responsible for her friends if they go hungry. Okay, it's plenty of food. One thing about me is that I'm gonna make sure it's plenty of food for everybody. Okay, but I'm not cooking for a whole nother set of people. I'm just not. And there's nothing wrong with that. I lived in houses that was just like that. Okay. But the thing is, you gotta be careful on people who you cook for, because then like they're gonna expect to cook for you to cook with them. I'm sorry, they're gonna expect you to cook for them every time they come over. They're gonna want a free meal. And I'm like, no, I'm not cooking for you. If your host don't cook for you and you're looking for me to cook for you, then you just gonna have to go home because I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I have worked 20 hours, 24 hours with barely any lunch break or a 10-minute break at that. So if I say no, it's just me saying no. I hate when people feel like we can't say no to them and then they would get set up here, get mad, and turn into a credible Hulk. I can't stand it. Why are people so sensitive when when other people say no to something? They get so sensitive. Ain't nobody try to control nobody. But I'm just saying, I'm not responsible for another person who I did not invite over to feed them. If they're hungry, they could order out. If they're hungry, they can go out to the restaurant, bring them some food back, or cook at home and bring the food they cook at home to the house. That's just it's just common sense. I had never been to a house where if you cook food, if you cook food for one, or let's just say, I don't know. I'm just grew up differently, That's just my thoughts and opinions. I grew up different. But let's just say, oh, it's too many people over. If it's too many people over, then no, I'm not gonna cook for that because that's just too much. Okay, I'm not gonna cook for that. But if it's just me and two of my friends, or me and two of my friends and my sister two friends, then that's different. Okay, that's that's different because it's just my two friends and my sister's two friends. But if it's like I group like 10 plus, no, I'm not cooking for that. No. But if it was just two people, I was thinking about it, and I'm like, okay, if she invites two people to eat, to come over to eat, then it would be best to like just alert me when she have company like that. And then I could prep for that. You know, I could prep to feed them to extra mouths. But if she tell me some shit last minute, then no, no, I'm not cooking for that. One thing I hate is when they do some last minute shit, and my mom does that all the time. And like I had made some spaghetti one night. I had no plans of cooking chicken, right? So she gonna top out. She want chicken last minute, mind you. I had just got done making spaghetti, and she gonna top out. Oh, she wants a barbecue chicken. She wants a barbecue chicken. Then she gonna try to bully me into making the chicken. Now, mind you, I was already exhausted. I was already exhausted as a motherfucker. So I wound up making the chicken anyway. But I should have made a salad. That's what I should have made. Instead of making the chicken, I should have made a salad. Because when you make spaghetti, you make salad. That's normally how it goes. But I'm just thinking about like all the past experiences I had when cooking for other people, and how my aunt used to make me cook for other people. You know, oh, like when I used to live with my aunt. I remember this like it was yesterday. I lived with my aunt before. I had some cousins over. It was like about five of us over or whatever. I decided to get up and make me some breakfast. I wanted to cook me some breakfast. So I'm in the kitchen, minding my business. Here my auntie comes and top out. Do you want to? No, she was asking the other kids what they want to eat. Cause I was up here making me like some bacon and eggs or whatever. So they all see me cooking, but they didn't want nothing I was cooking. Right. So one said cereal, the other one said cereal, the other one said oatmeal or something. So it was like I believe they was really looking out for me, you know what I'm saying? Because that was really unfair. That I have to cook for everybody, and that she would try to force me to cook for everybody. That's what I was. And they seen the bullshit. They seen the bullshit. So I'll just mainly pick cereal. So that just saved me the hassle and the energy. But yeah, like if we have like two separate companies over, and we definitely mind you different age groups. Thank you for thanks. Different age groups, you know what I'm saying? I gotta find food that we all gotta eat because I'm not making separate meals. I'm not cooking separate meals. And then it's not just the budgeting part. You gotta budget the food as well. You gotta be able to make sure that the food can't get replaced. Because like, what if I took 2 days off to go grocery shopping, knowing that I'm gonna have company over, but I know for a fact that when my company come over, yes, I'm gonna cook for them. So that's why I budgeted for extra mouths for my company. Now I did not budget food for my sister's friends. Okay. Now the thing is, when you know you're gonna have company, you're supposed to budget food and make sure you have enough for everybody to eat, right? Okay, cool. But if you don't budget, if you only buy enough food for the people that's on the lease, okay, that's the issue. But for me, when I know that I'm gonna have company over for, let's say, the next 2 weekends, I'm prepping ahead of time. Okay, I'm prepping ahead of time for those 2 weekends because I know that I'm gonna have some coworkers coming over those 2 weekends to hang out. But my sister, she don't think the same way I think. You know, but I am gonna have a talk with her when it comes to like communication and how to communicate with other people, how to address, as people like to say, the elephant in the room correctly. Because it's a way to address everything. It is, but sometimes going live and stuff. That's the only way to get to. Sometimes it's the only way to get through that head because when you're addressing them privately, it doesn't always work out like that. You know, I think another thing about my sister is that she has a tendency to get jobs. Right, she could get a job all day, every day, but the thing is, she would get a job and quit, or get a job and get fired, like recently. So with that being said, it did. That's why I said when I went live on TikTok, the majority of the food is gonna come out of my money. It's gonna come out of my check, and that was nothing to spite her for. It was nothing to spite her for. It was just stating facts, because she doesn't really keep jobs for that long, and I know for a fact I can keep a job for a while. My first healthcare job lasted for at least like almost 8 months at a time. At one time, 8 months. Okay, and then I went and worked for a temp agency. I had a warehouse job, but that didn't last that long because it was a warehouse job, and I didn't know how to do warehouse work. But then I had another job after that, working for another agency that did restaurant style jobs. Okay, I was working as a concierge. One day I was selling ice cream, the ice cream dots, and then another day I was selling fast food, burgers, fries, um, tacos. One stand was tacos, the other one was burgers and fries. And I did that one day a week, but that's the only day they had available. You know what I'm saying? But the thing with me is that I tend to buy extra everything because I know for a fact like once this money get gone, it's gonna be a while before I could get some more money like that. So that's why I buy everything in bulk. Everything in bulk. But I'm gonna wait for a while, before I bring that conversation back up because you gotta have to get talked about regardless. And she gonna get mad again, she could get mad again. And if it's come to the point where we gotta have to fight, so be it. But if I lose the fight, then that's just me losing the fight. But at the end of the day, I still won. Because one, again, like I don't have to look out for her and I don't have to go the extra mile for her. You know what I'm saying? So that's just proving that she's not fully grown and she's not ready for the real world. Because a real grown ass adult will sit down and say, "Oh yeah, we do need to have rules. We do need to have this, that, third." You know. And when it comes to the food thing, we definitely gonna have to talk about that because food is tripling, or either tripling or quadrupling its price. So, like I say, if you are going to have company, you have to plan accordingly and grocery shop accordingly. It's like saying if I have 5 people over for a weekend, right? One weekend, Saturday, Sunday. I'm grocery shopping for that whole entire weekend and then some. I'm not just grocery shopping for 2 people or 3 people, 2 or 3 people. I'm grocery shopping for that whole entire weekend because I know that I'm gonna have company on those days. And I'm buying extra food for them. But if she wanna buy extra food for her company, then she could pinch out of her money and do that. Out of her money do that. But I think it's just best if we just buy a separate refrigerator because I don't know if she still wants to move in. Still want to do that roommate thing or what. But that rules we still need to talk about that. We still need to talk about how company is gonna come about. We still need to talk about a lot of shit that we haven't even touched that one. Okay. And so like I said, there was really nothing to be mad about, nothing to fight about. There was really no real beef for real for real. Um we can have company over all we want. But if we're not planning ahead of time, then things can go left. What if we go into a lockdown and we just up here feeding people, and then it's not gonna be no food for us. That's why you gotta grocery shop accordingly. Like food, I'm gonna say Food for Less, Sam's, and Costco's. When you having company over like that for 2 days, for the whole weekend, then those are the stores you need to go grocery shopping for because like their stuff come in bulk. So when you buy in bulk, you're not gonna feel guilty later because you done bought extra food. Um even after the sorry y'all. Even after your company gone, it's still extra food left throughout the month because you bought more than enough to last throughout the month. Okay. And then if we go into another lockdown, guess what? We still have extra food to go, you know. But it just like regardless of who house you're in, whether you got your own house or not, you gotta have to lay down the law, tell people what it is, what it ain't gonna be, what it is gonna be. This my child's food. Please don't touch that. This my child's room. Please don't go in there. Things like that. Just like my room, I'm gonna say people, if you gotta come over, we're gonna have company come over. Just make sure they don't go in my room, touch my stuff, because if anything comes up missing, I'm going to spaz out. I'm going to black out. I work hard for my stuff. I don't like people touching my stuff, especially if you don't let me know that you are using it. Then yes, it's going to be an issue. Because I buy stuff when it comes to my hair products, the hygiene products, I buy enough to last for a couple weeks at least, or either a couple weeks or I buy enough to last a month. I don't just buy stuff to last. 3 days or 5 days out of the whole week. No, I buy stuff that will last a whole month because again, I once this money get gone, then that's it. That's over with. But once the money is gone, then I can look back and say, you know what, I'm glad I did buy extra stuff. Cause then like I ain't gonna have that. Damn, I done fucked up. you know, I done fucked up, but I messed up. I ain't buy enough. Now I gotta stretch the last little bit of whatever I got left. Stretch that out until next time I get paid. One thing I hate doing is stretching anything out until I get paid. I hate doing it. But yeah, we're gonna have to talk about that regardless. So she can get mad, stump and pout. I mean, I don't care. Um, I really don't care. But as for the summer, the summertime is here, is now. I had already been got my head planned, my sometimes planned. My class is from June till July. That's the official schedule. It's from June till July. And I will graduate towards the end of July. So therefore I will be working in August. I'll be working in August officially. I will have hopefully I will have a completion letter or a completion certificate. That way I can get to work, you know, because it's been a longest time since I last had a job. But one thing I don't like is when people want to live with you and feel like they don't have to follow rules, or feel like your feelings is invalid, or feel like they can talk to you or treat you any kind of way, shape, or form. That's one thing I hate doing the most. Okay, I hate doing that shit the most. Um, I did that shit with my other sister, my Capricorn sister. She felt like she could overrule me when she came to me and asked me to ask my other people for the state if she could live in my apartment because she didn't want to take that drive back and forth every day to come check up on me or whatever. I'm like, I don't need to be checked on. The people that need to be checked on is this, that, third, this person, that person. Those are the people that need to be checked on. I ain't need to be checked on. And she said she don't want to do that drive, so she had asked me if she can live in my apartment with me, or whatever. So I made that happen for her. She fucked that up. She decided to put her hands on me. And I'll be damned if this one, the youngest one, put her hands on me, mad because I said something about let's write down a list of rules. But like I said, regardless, rules are there to make sure everything is in order. Rules out there to make sure everybody's safe. My sister, her friends are like in their 20s, young 20s or like 18, 19 years old. You know what I'm saying? My friends, whoever I'm hanging out with at the time, we are all in our 30s, 40s, and 50s. So it's gonna have to be rules set. Because all of my friends, including myself, is older than her. But if she feel like we're not gonna be able to do the roommate thing, get along, and mind you, we was get along all the way until I said anything about me not wanting to cook for her friends, and then we had to set some rules. We was get along fine all the way until then. So I'm thinking, like I said, either we one, I could wait for the situation to die down and talk about it again as mature adults. Or if we do decide to move in with each other, you know, still, even after all that, I'm a why not just buy my own refrigerator and let her have the main one. And I don't see no problem with that as long as that house is big enough to have two refrigerators. You know, as long as yeah, as long as the house is big enough to have two refrigerators, then we are good. We should not be worried about people eating each other food or something coming up missing or my nephew food coming up missing. We should be good. Um, but as the older sister, like I said, I try to look out for everybody as much as I can. Even with the little shit I do have, I still try to look out for people. I just get pushed out to the side when people feel like they can't use me or take advantage of me anymore. So that's where the oh you're a fat bitch, you're a tiny bitch, you slow. That's where all that shit is coming from. Because when they realize they can't use me no more, that's where all that shit start coming out. That's where all the true colors starts to come out. But yeah, as for the summertime, I already got that shit unlocked. Okay, my nursing journey is unlocked. It's locked and loaded. I'm gonna be working mad hours, like mad hours. Most of the time, you'll be seeing me at work 90%. I'm gonna say 90% of the time, you'll see me at work. But I ain't gotta get sidetracked because I'm still in school. I was supposed to graduate in June, but I wound up failing one of my classes. So I'm doing a retake, and now they pushed my shit back all the way to December. So I'm like, damn. So yeah, now my new graduation date for that is December. Um. Oh, other word. So yesterday, right? Now, mind you, me and my sister had got into an argument about the rules, and me and I were cooking for her. So when we got into an argument, right? She had talked shit about me shopping at food pantries or getting free food. And I'm like, um, okay. But she had why not going in my refrigerator getting a slice of lunch meat. And she did that when I was asleep. So now she being sneaky. She did that shit when I was asleep and she felt like she don't have to ask me to go in my refrigerator. So I'm like, okay. I woke up, I hear some rattling. I looked over. I see my sister just went in my refrigerator, grabbed something, and trying to leave out before I spotted her. Now, luckily, I didn't make a big deal out of it because, mind you, I was asleep while I heard the shit, and I woke up out of my sleep, catching her doing it. So now it's like, oh, so she got balls after she just disrespected me for going to the food pantry, getting free food to make sure we don't starve on the last week of the month. Now, what I should have told her at the time, like, since you feel like you could disrespect me about the rules, don't go in my refrigerator. And now, yo, now my food is gonna be revoked to you. Okay, I'm revoking your access to my refrigerator because nobody helped me get the refrigerator. That's a $300. I think no, I think it was like 250, either 250 or $300 refrigerator, I bought that out of my money. All that food came off of my money, off of my link, and off of my first of the month check. So, you know, I don't feel nobody who feel like they could disrespect me like that, you know. But if she do it again, if she does it again, then I'm gonna definitely say something that time. Until we get to some kind of common ground where we could talk without arguing, we could talk without fighting. You know, if you going like you say you going, then yeah. Until then, like don't come to me asking me, hey, what are you cooking? Hey, can I get a plate? No, none of that. None of that. Uh, let's talk about Deisha Taylor Nanny and her cousin because I wasn't on a live stream when it happened, but there's a live stream where Deisha Taylor cousin. Well, some people say it was Quick cousin. Deisha Taylor's baby daddy, but I don't know. Like I said, I was not on the live stream, but a lot of people say it was Deja's. Other people say it was Quick cousin, but whoever the fuck cousin that was mad disrespectful. Well, why not happening was that the dude had brought his kid over, right? And he brought his kid over to play with his other cousins. And the nanny said that she was not watching his kid because she's not getting paid to watch an extra child. So they wind up getting into it, and the cousin, mind you, a fully grown ass dude, cussed her out, told her to shut the fuck up, proceed to call her a bitch, and said, yes, the fuck you is watching my child. So after all of that, the nanny winds up leaving. I believe she left, but they didn't show that part. The nanny winds up leaving, allegedly, and does not answer any of Deja's text messages or phone calls. And the worst part about it is that Deja was getting her hair did in the midst of that argument. And she sat back and laughed at the situation. If I was the nanny, I would have looked at her and said, what the fuck is funny? What is funny? It's funny that I'm getting disrespected by a fully grown ass man. It's funny that I'm getting cussed out and being called out of my name. It's funny that y'all try to force me to watch extra children that I'm not gonna be able to get paid for. And what is funny? Let me let me fucking know what's funny so I can address it. I would say it just like that because one thing I hate is when a motherfucker think just because I'm watching one child, they feel like I should watch everybody else's kids. But no. And if you're not gonna pay me to watch extra people kids, then find somebody else to watch it. Or bring the other person that you usually pay to watch your kids over to Dacia's house and let them watch it from there. Because one, like that free label shit, that's what's not gonna happen. Okay, all that free label shit is not what's gonna happen. I am team nanny all the way, team nanny, because I'm not gonna sit up here and get disrespected by a bunch of motherfuckers. I'm not. I don't care if you are rich. It's a whole nother rich ass family that could pay double what you pay. But to sit up here and think I'm supposed to babysit other people's kids for free, I think the fuck not. I make too much money to be disrespected by this household. It was other houses that I would have said it was other houses that I made way more money than this. Way more money than this. Okay. And I barely got disrespected over there. The only reason why I left that motherfucker is due to other family emergencies or whatever the case might be. Like I would have told their asses off and quit the same day. I would have told them off and quit. Okay. And not only that, I would have called that nanny corporate. Mind you, there's a number, right? When you get hired to babysit somebody's kids through a corporation or an agency for nannies, there's an agency for nannies. When you get hired from people like that, from corporations like that, they can go back. The nannies could go back and tell their supervisors what happened in a household. If the nanny don't feel safe in a household, they could tell the supervisor, and they will at least try to do something to help them. Okay, if they feel disrespected, then they could go and tell the supervisors or whatever the case might be. And if the supervisors feel that their arguments is valid, they could block them. Okay, they could block that family forever getting any other help, and it's it's very much possible. That's like saying, oh, I decided to sign up to be a babysitter, right? And I go and work for a rich family. That rich family that disrespected the shit out of me and feel like I should watch other people's kids for free. So because I got disrespected and they think I should watch other people's kids for free, I could go and report that to my supervisor. Okay, that hired me to come work for this family. I'm sorry, the supervisor that worked for the nanny corporation or whoever. I could go tell them, and guess what? They have the power to send out an SOS saying, "Don't work for this family." They can send out an SOS signal to every nanny office. Anybody that works for a corporation or what you call it, anybody that works for that is a nanny and they working for a corporation that hires nannies, and word gets out like that, then they could be like, oh yeah, she is permanently banned from hiring any nannies to work for that house. She is permanently banned. Because there's a lot of agencies that does not tolerate disrespect towards their employees. And the way Deja Taylor's cousin just cussed out the nanny during our last stream was uncalled for. Like, it was highly uncalled for. If you're not gonna pay the girl, then why the fuck is you up there harassing the girl to watch your kids for? Ain't she free? Gas not free, food not free, electricity not free, rent not free. You can't live nowhere rent free. You know what I'm saying? She gotta pay bills. She gotta pay bills just like everybody else gotta pay bills. Pay bills. If you can't afford her rate, then skedaddle. Simple. Skip a skedaddle. I'm not gonna sit up here and watch other people's kids, and I'm only getting paid for 30 kids, mind you. The nanny that Deja originally hired, she's only getting paid to watch 3 kids. She's not getting paid to watch extra children. And mind you, Deja just got on Ty Taylor for doing the same thing. Because Ty had a habit of dropping favor off, which is her daughter. She had a habit of dropping favor off at the other nanny, Deja's nanny. At the time, I don't think Ty had a nanny. She had just hired her nanny. But Deja had a nanny that would watch her 3 kids, which would be Harmony, Dream. No, at the time it was yeah, at the time it was just Harmony and Dream. But now she got what's the name? Artist. Now she got artist. So now she got 3. Okay. So Like I said, like if I'm only getting paid to watch 3 kids, then I'm only watching 3 kids. I'm not watching 5, 6, 7 other kids. Cause then like that would be called a bigger paycheck, money that you cannot afford to pay her. All right, people cannot drive their car for free. They gotta pay insurance. They gotta pay life insurance. They gotta pay their kids medical insurance. That shit ain't free. So if I say my services are not free, that means my services are not free. It's the respect. It's the principle at the end of the fucking day. And you getting mad, try to cuss me out, try to put me in my place or whatever, try to tell me to watch my mouth. I'm not gonna watch shit. Now y'all better watch me leave out the motherfucking door. Okay? Now y'all better watch me not answer my phone for y'all. Now y'all better watch me and block y'all asses on everything. I appreciate y'all the opportunities that y'all gave me. Y'all appreciate the opportunities that you gave me to go out of the country with y'all. But the disrespect is I can only tolerate it so damn much. Okay? You lost out at a good ass nanny because now it's like you already like Daisha already said that she don't trust everybody around her kids. And the kids already feel comfortable around the nanny. They just quit. So it's gonna be hard to try to build up that trust with a whole new nanny, you know, because now that nanny is considered family to those kids. It's not easy opening up to a whole new stranger. Now the kid gonna have to get introduced to the nanny all over again. The new nanny gonna have to learn the children. Okay, like who got time to sit up here and steady trying to find nannies for their kids and their whole family just disrespecting the nanny each and every time a new nanny come through. Who got time for that? And now the children are hurt because they love this nanny. They love this nanny. They love this nanny. And it's a lot. It's a lot. Everybody's not gonna think that disrespect is funny. It's certain things you just can't laugh about. I hate when people say that because it's like certain things you just can't laugh about. Certain things you just can't sit back and like, like no, ain't shit funny. Ain't no geeky and ha ha nothing. No, you just disrespecting me to the guys and then you think that shit is funny and you laugh twice at it. Twice. They should laugh. She did a little kiki and a ha ha like during the time she was getting her hair did. That's when the argument broke out, and then she did it again when she realized her nanny had quit and made a whole video about it and did a kiki and a ha ha thing too. And then she tried to go back and make an apology video for it. No. No, and I'm not apology coming from your mouth that's gonna make me want to come back in that house, in that household alone to get me to watch your kids after a fully grown man just disrespected the shit out of me. And you didn't even step up and say nothing. You didn't even hop out of your seat and say nothing. So yes, I am fully team Nanny on that shit. Because Deja should have had that same energy she had with Ty. Because Deja had checked Ty for doing that shit, dropping her child off with the nanny and walk it out and leave her with uh favor for hours and hours on end and not paying her. Mind you, Ty did the same thing. Drop favor off at the nanny, Deja's nanny, and not pay the nanny. The nanny had missed out on thousands of dollars. Thousands of dollars for people who feel like they could just drop their kids off at the house just because the nanny is there. The nanny is not there to watch everybody kids once again. She's not there to watch everybody kids. She's just there to watch them 3 kids, which is Dream, Artist, and Harmony. That is her assignment is to watch those kids, those 3. Okay. If they want a nanny so damn bad, They need to budget their money more. Okay, they need to budget their money more and budget their money better in order to be able to afford a nanny. Not everybody can afford a nanny, but the ones who can afford a nanny are the ones who can't afford the nanny. But if you cannot afford a nanny, don't be sitting up here trying to force people to take care of your kids if you're not gonna pay them. Like for me, instance, I don't ask for much, but when I expect to get paid, I expect to get paid accordingly. If I'm sitting up here watching your child from 1 p.m. all the way until 10 o'clock p.m., I'm expected to get paid for those hours. Okay. Or if you need me to watch your child for the whole weekend, from Friday all the way until Sunday, or from Friday all the way until Monday, I need to get paid for them hours. But every hour I'm with them, I need to get paid for them. That's a liability. That if something happens, I can take some of that money, take the kids to the hospital, get that bill, and get reimbursed. But like I said, if you're not gonna pay me, then I'm gonna go ahead and say no. I'm gonna defend myself, say no, call my supervisor up, the person that hired me through the company to come work for y'all. I'm gonna go call that person up and let them know what's gonna happen. Okay. Somebody want me to watch their kids and they refuse to pay me. So I say no, got to argument and he got to cuss me out. And I refuse to go back and deal with the disrespect, because if it happened once, and mind you, this is not the first time that shit happened. I could tell. Just by the way they was arguing on that Twitch live, that's not the first time that shit happened. That shit I got cussed out by that family. Okay, got cussed out by that household. Now I don't heard they should have cussed out the nanny before and made the nanny cry. And I'm like, the fuck the nanny do for you to cuss her out so bad to the point where you made her cry? Even within, like, I'm like, nah, fuck that shit. I would, I would have quit then, because and then like she want to take all day. Then Deja would take all day to get ready, and that's a fact. She want to take all day to get ready, and that's what the nanny was saying one time. She was taking all day to get ready, and then they live an hour, hours of change away from the city, and they have to drive super far to get to the place where they have booked an event at. And they was gonna be late because Deja would be on Twitch and TikTok and shit. And they didn't want to be late because I don't know if they charge you a fee or a cancellation fee or whatever the case might be. But if you late to certain things, they will cancel your session and not refund you. So she wound up cussing the nanny out for telling her that she is taking too damn long. So like, I can't. I just can't. I love me some Daisha Taylor and Ty Taylor, but sometimes when you piece some bullshit, you just gotta be quiet about it. It's not just that you peeping and you're addressing it. You can address it all you want, but sometimes like when you piece some bullshit, you just have to peep it and be quiet. Peep it and move the fuck on. Okay? Write it down, note it, and just move the fuck on. And just like next time you see him, just be like, you know, they are remaking that uh they are remaking the Scarface movie. Shake my head. Are you going to go see the new one? Um, I don't know. I'm not really a fan of Scarface like that. I know one of my sisters are, but I'm not really a fan of Scarface. But I am still planning on going to see the Michael Jackson movie. I haven't seen that one yet. I wanted to wait for it. I wanted to go the day it got released, but it was a lot of people that was dressing up as Mike and singing the songs and shit. And I didn't want to really be around it, Because my sister was saying the same thing. Like she wanted to go, but she don't want to be around the people that's gonna be singing through the whole movie and getting up and dancing and stuff. But I'm like, you can't go to a Michael Jackson. That's like going to a Michael Jackson concert and not singing and dancing at the concert or mimicking one of his moves. That's just crazy. But I get what she's saying though. You want to go to a movie, you want to be able to sit down and enjoy the movie. Come back and talk about it. But it's kind of hard to do that when you got people dancing, singing, and try to mimic his voice and mimic his dance moves. Like it's kind of hard to do that. We got, you know. But Scarface, I might go just to get out of the house. Take a break. I might go in the Super Mario Brother movie. I might go see that too, cause I grew up on Super Mario Brothers. I grew up on the first game console when it first came out. Me and my brothers had one, and we had damn near everyone. No, what they had everyone. I had the Wii. I had the Wii console, but they had almost every console that came out. A Michael Jackson movie. Of course, they would do a Michael Jackson movie because the first one made them so much money. Like Michael Jackson is a fucking legend. Come on now, he's a motherfucking legend. That's something you cannot just go around disrespecting. You can't disrespect Michael like that, bro. But somebody said they made a Michael Jackson documentary. Sorry, a documentary, some kind of story on Netflix, and they feel like they did Michael Jackson dirty on that story. It was supposed to be a true story type shit. They feel like they did him dirty and some things was not true or whatever. Actual I didn't see the actual movie myself on Netflix, but they say it was a Michael Jackson movie on Netflix that was based on his life, and they feel like it was a money grab. They feel like they was being greedy because the other movie they did so well, so they came out with a true story type movie. They didn't really like the one on Netflix they did, so I gotta go watch the one on Netflix before I go to the movie theater to see um what the fuck happened, why people talk about the series, you know, like that. 43 years old, had an archery, I'm old. What's up? Atri? What is that? Can you remind me what that is? I ain't never heard that term before. But yeah, I was there. I was definitely around when the first Xbox came out. It's like a joystick. You gotta move it around. Then you get with a game, you gotta take it out, blow it because it was acting weird or whatever. So you gotta blow it a couple of times and then put it back in for it to work. MJ Music Israel, and he made the dance popular. Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, I know that. The dance part, yeah. When he did a moonwalk, yeah, he took the world by storm with that one. Cause then like everybody was trying to do that shit. People still doing the moonwalk. But yeah, I got plans of going to the movie theater. It was even if it's just by myself. I got plans of going to the movie theater. take my stuff on the date night, especially because like I don't gotta worry about no kids, no kids. Ow! I could just up and leave and be like, I see you around 12, 2 o'clock in the morning the most. Single shelf, nice. I'm working on getting my nursing license. I just got enrolled, officially enrolled in my nursing school, and I got enrolled I got enrolled on the first school of choice. So I'm all ready to go with that one. The United States. Which part of the states I'm from? I'm from the United States. Up on the mountains. I live in the mountains. Yeah, I want to go ahead get into that, before they officially ban it because they don't really talk about nursing fields are not really essential workers. They said something about our nursing fields, but they try to make it like, oh, it's unprofessional, and I mean like unprofessional. They ain't really lied about the nursing field not being professional. You know, they say it's unprofessional, but I mean like at the same time they ain't really lie about it because it's a lot of it's a lot of mess that went down in the nursing field, and then everybody just like looking out for themselves, not really looking out for the residents, not really looking out for the clients. It's really just a whole big ass money grab. Barbados, nice. It's really just a money grab in the nursing field. Everybody just really in it just for the money. They're not really in it for the love and the caring of the patients. That's why me, a lot of people don't really get along. I could be in it. Like me, my true intentions is for the clients and the residents and the patient. That's my true intentions. But other people, they see how much money they could get out of somebody. And that's where the issue started. That's why people said that, oh, it's unprofessional and ain't nobody really taking that shit seriously. And like I said, they ain't never lied. Because if you go on TikTok, everybody say the same thing. It's unprofessional. It's a money grab, and nobody's really there for the clients like that. Nobody's really there for the patient. Nobody really there for the residents. Yeah, if you're a good nurse, of course. But if you're there just for the money and not really caring about the patient's health, guess what? That could fuck up. That can, excuse my language. That can mess up your bag too, because in order for you to get paid, you have to care for the patient. And guess what? Majority of the money is coming from the patient's medical card or whatever insurance they are using to pay for their medications. That's how they're getting paid. You know, it's through the state, but the medical insurance is through the state as well. It's state funding. So if the state stop the funding, it's gonna be hard trying to get medical insurance. Okay. Got a lot of times the nursing field is ran through funding. It's ran through funding from the state. And the like certain people that got good medical insurance, they get paid from that. Like the nurses, the doctors, they get paid from the medical insurance. Like if you have a C section, GTA, if you have a C section, they get paid more through the insurance. Okay. Notice how a lot of people would like do C section even though there's nothing really wrong with you. They would rather for you to do a C section because they know for a fact they could get paid more if they was to cut you up and get the baby out. Any type of surgery is a major bag for them. So of course they're gonna offer you surgery rather than offer you an alternative because the surgeries pay out more. Brain surgery pay out more. Cancer surgery pays out more. You know, they're always gonna look for the higher payout rather than looking for alternatives because alternatives medication does not pay out the same amount as doing surgery. Like chemotherapy, you get more money, and this is not fact. This is not alleged. You get more money doing chemotherapy. Okay, if you're a doctor and nurse and you do chemotherapy on a patient, they pay out more through chemotherapy. That's why if you got cancer, you go to the doctor and say, "Hey, doctor, stop with me," and they diagnose you as cancer, and they automatically offer you chemotherapy, is because it pays out more. It pays out more. That's true too, Alex. They can be stubborn, very stubborn. That too. That's also a fact. You gotta pay to be a surgeon. But you gotta remember, like, some of these people also are scams. They do scams through the medical field. Okay, they will scam you through the medical field because sometimes a lot of these patients don't be having cancer. A lot of these patients don't even be having cancer like that. A lot of these patients don't even be having diseases like that the way they said they have them. They only like for instance, I'm doing research, right? My field. For those who wonder, I'm in college, right? And I'm almost done. I'm literally almost done. My field is healthcare management. I just recently did a discussion board in the IP paper on something that worked my ass all the way the fuck up. For instance, like I read about rights to know or it's something about rights to know right, or rights to act. You know, like patients have rights to ask for other alternative treatments. If your doctor does not give you another option, they advise you to go to another doctor that will give you options because all doctors, like if you got diagnosed with something and it's deadly, all doctors is supposed to give you options of medical treatments and they're supposed to explain to you each medical treatment plan and how it's going to affect your body, affect your health and stuff like that. Even like if it's deadly, they still gotta explain how deadly it is and how it's gonna still benefit you at the same damn time. It could sound scary, but they still gotta give you that option. If they don't give you that option, then they advise you to move to another facility that will give you an option. Now, if you do your own research and you find out some about something else, okay, let's just say you have found out about another treatment plan and then he tell you about it. 9 times out of 10, it's probably because the doctor is uncomfortable about the procedure, or they just don't want to do it. But they still have to tell you about the procedure and how to treat certain things. You know, especially like if you let's just say you had cancer, right? And you found out about alternative treatment where you don't have to like go through certain things. They still have to tell you about that treatment. Now, some treatments are banned. We have something called the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration. Every single treatment has to go through the Food and Drug Administration because they got to make sure that the human body is capable of taking in such medications because a lot of these medications are harsh. They can drain the life out of you the more you take them, but they still got to go through the Food and Drug Administration. Now, the Food and Drug Administration, y'all might think, oh, it's just for the food. No, it's for medication. It's for the healthcare field as well. You know, 'cause it's certain ones that's still in the testing stage, and certain ones that has been approved but has not yet hit the shelf, and then there's certain ones that they not sure about, and then there's ones that they tested, it went through, but it's still too dangerous for the public, so they're not gonna administrate that. So the whole medicine doctor field is practice. Well, I'm not gonna say that, okay, but you have to go to school in order to practice medicine. But but yeah, if you go to a doctor and say, "Hey, what are you doing?" Whatever the case might be, they're gonna say, "Yeah, I practice." Um, no, if you go to a person and they say, and you ask them, "Hey, what do you do for a living?" They're gonna say, "Yeah, I practice medicine." There you go. I practice medicine. Even though they're fully licensed, but it's a practice. Okay, they professionals, but they still practicing it. Of course, of course, yes. As long as it's appropriate, and it's not sensitive, too sensitive for me to read and stuff like that, or it's offensive to people. Yeah, of course. I'm gonna try my best to bring more topics to the live streams as well. Because one thing about the healthcare ministry, the one thing about the healthcare industry is that it's so much stuff that goes on in the I can't say administration. It's so much stuff that goes on in the healthcare field that a lot of people do not want to talk about because they scared to talk about it. But other people are not scared to talk about it because they got enough power to the point where the government can't come in and do anything to them. But if certain people find out something about the Food and Drug Administration that has not yet hit the internet and it's like being banned or whatever, then the government can step in and scare them to the point where now they don't want to do medicine. Now they don't want to practice medicine. Now they don't want to get on social media for anything else because they're scared that the government might do something to their families or to themselves or to that person. Yeah. Oh, COVID. We gotta be careful on that one too because people are getting their accounts suspended for talking about COVID. But shit, we gotta talk about COVID and the hantavirus as well. We probably gotta do that. I don't know. We gonna do that part because the hantavirus just popped out. It just came out about a month ago, and it's already hitting the United States. And people's. Matter of fact, we can talk about that shit now. I got time. I ain't doing nothing later on today except for doing my hair, trying to get ready for the CPR class. I got a CPR class on the 29th, and I'm trying to get my hair done for then. So if I pass this class, I can I'll be a certified CPR and save people lives and I also use that to become a lifeguard at the beach or something. No, no, no. I don't teach anything. No, I'm going to take a CPR class because the nursing class that I want to take is required for me to take a CPR class. That's mandatory. But that it's covered through the tuition. Oh, that'd be a dream to work in Barbados. But yeah, that'd be a dream. It's like working in Barbados in the Caribbean. That's a vacation all year round. That's a vacation all year round. But yeah, but the Hanata virus, it's just it's so much going on over there. You know, I heard it came from two countries. They trying to be slick, but I heard that it came from two countries. They tried to mention South Africa at first, and then they switched it up and said no, it came from Argentina. So I'm like, oh, you sneaky motherfuckers. So I'm like, oh, hmm. And then like the more they talk about it, the more it becomes suspicious because like then like I was watching a video that was talking about the Hanata virus, and he said, "Oh, the Hanata virus been around since 1930s." And I looked, I'm like, "What the fuck? The fuck you mean that the Hanata virus has been around since the 1930s?" And y'all knew about it. Like y'all knew about the Hanata virus being around since the 1930s, and y'all did nothing at all to stop it from spreading. But he said that it's usually spread from a certain rat colony. You know, not all rats have it, but like a certain colony of rats has it. We need to keep healthy. Exercise is part of it. Oh yeah, I'm big. I'm huge when it comes to going to the gym. I'm real big on that. I was never scared. One thing about me is that I was never scared to go to the gym. But one thing I hate is when if I'm in the mood to go to the gym and you say it's a fuck shit, then like I'm gonna stop going to the gym. But what the fuck would you say that shit? You know that I was over in the mood. Now it's like I don't want to go no more. Doctors and scientists work together. They literally could control the world population. Jog. Oh, I can't jog. I got asthma. My asthma that came back. If I do jog, I gotta do like one block, like probably like 5 blocks at a time, and then I'm gonna work my way up to 8 blocks, and then try to do a mile. The goal is to like do a mile when it comes to jogging, but I don't think I could walk a mile. Well, I'm not. No, let me take it back. I'm not gonna say I think I can't because like if I could walk 6 blocks, then I could walk an additional six. Okay, I could walk an additional six. So I'm not gonna say I can't. It's just that I gotta work my way up to. I gotta graduate up to a mile. So I'm not gonna say I can't. Where I know for a fact I could do it. It's just that I'm not gonna push myself to the point where I'm passing out in the streets. But eventually, yeah, we'll get to that mark. Inspiration. Yes. And that's crazy you say inspiration because a lot of inspiration videos has been popped up on my YouTube shorts. A lot of inspiration videos has been popping up on me on my YouTube shorts. It's crazy you just said that. And then I was just watching some today too. Well, yesterday, because today is a brand new day. I was just watching some yesterday too. But back to this Hanata virus type shit. Like the more, like I said before, the more I get into what listening on people talk about the Hanata virus,
it's getting creepier and creepier because like if you knew they came out somewhere in the 1900s, that should have been the deal breaker right there to have like vaccines. I'm gonna talk about that too, cause they're all like right there together. And I'm gonna explain why. But like I said, if they knew that the hantavirus was back in the 1900s and they just not talking about it, mind you, nobody knew about it until then. I didn't know anything about the hantavirus until then, and I didn't even know that it was a certain rat colony that carried it. Okay, so what wound up happening was that right. What wound up happening was that somebody by a junkyard, some kind of junkyard, and they took a picture of themselves in that junkyard, and they must have came across rodent, some kind of rodent, that was run around thing, and they must have got bit, because that's the only way I could see them catching it. They must have got bit by one of the rodents that was around that junkyard, and they ran a weird shit back on the boat. Mind you, it was a cruise with thousands of people paying top dollars to be on that shit. So that's how it came to the United States. It was people in the United States that was on that same cruise. And because that person was on that same cruise, a lot of people wound up getting infected and passing away within that same week. And they trying to say, oh, it's not as bad as we think. We're not gonna go into another pandemic. But what the fuck shit? Who the fuck shit? If it's not as bad as we think it is, why the fuck people are passing away from it? Why y'all haven't came up with a vaccine? Again, if it was like first got studied back in 1900s or whatever the case might be. Like, if you knew back then that this was going to be a problem now, this was going to be a problem now, like, that would have been a time to come up with a vaccine rather than waiting until 2026 to come up with a vaccine. They should have did it back then when they first discovered it. Um, but it haven't hit my state. That's the thing. They try to lie and say it hit my state, but it haven't hit my state. Yeah, if that was the case, then I would have heard everybody from my city talking about it. But I haven't heard anybody from my city alone getting the coronavirus. It had hit other people say I think it had hit California and Colorado, but yeah, I haven't heard anything from my city, my state, my city. But yeah, like they try to make it, they try to type out, oh, it's not as bad as we make it seem, and we need to relax. It's not gonna be another pandemic. She let it be another pandemic. See what the fuck I'm gonna do. All right, let another pandemic comes and see what the fuck I'm going to do. Who the fuck gonna stay in this motherfucking regular ass? Like the country is already raggedy. People already laughing at us. Midwest. I live Midwest. I'm dead ass because this shit is not funny. Like, we still recovering from COVID. I've been saying this shit for the longest. We still recovering from COVID. The fuck we look like going into a second pandemic. And then they talk about with this new virus, whoever catches the virus has to quarantine for 45 days. So well run it. Yeah, so well run it. I'm a little country though. Yeah, a lot of people say that I'm like I'm for the country, and that's because most of my family are for the country. Not for Memphis. Well, I do got cousins in Memphis. I got cousins in Memphis. Okay, Memphis, Tennessee. But most of my family are from Mississippi. They from Mississippi, but they moved to the up north. yeah, like that shit is not funny at all. We lost a. There was people who were lawyers. Like I seen a video of somebody that was a lawyer, and before the pandemic hit, he was making a lot of money as a lawyer. But when New Orleans, cool. But when the pandemic for COVID hit, they had lost out a lot of money, and they caught themselves doing Uber just to get by. And then when the country had went back to reopening after the pandemic, they still was not able to make up for a lot of money that was lost. Well, New Orleans. Well, I know some people say New Orleans, but I say New Orleans. Yeah, there was a major change in the first pandemic that we had with COVID. You know, a lot of people that was making millions and making the same amount of money again. The people who was doing YouTube back then before the pandemic happened was making thousands of dollars off of YouTube, but now when the pandemic did happen, the bag ain't been the same since. You know, like the money train had not been the same. So everybody definitely had experienced the loss of financial stability when the COVID pandemic hit. Yeah, it was that deadly. It was the same, like it was that deadly. But the only difference between COVID and Hanata, like Hanata, if you caught, if you want to catch it, the Hanata virus, you have to quarantine for 45 days. That's a month. Cause mind you, it's 31 days. Certain months, but some months have 31 days, right? And you got to quarantine for 45. You do the math. That's extra, but excuse me, my math is all the way off. My math is horrible, but still, like you miss out on money still. So, like, if 5 people caught the Hanata virus and they had to quarantine for 45 days, they are missing out on money. They can't go to work. They can't go to work and clock in. They missing out on money. And then a lot of these jobs ain't even paying, has to pay no more. Probably another time. Yeah. They said that COVID lasted 6 years. Oh, well, I don't know exactly how long COVID lasted, but they said that COVID was like 6 years ago. But still, like 6 years is a long time to not be able to bounce back up. A lot of people still not bouncing the a lot of people still had not bounced back up from COVID to this very day. Thank you for the light. A lot of people still have not bounced back up. So I imagine if everybody has to quarantine, that's extra money losing again. Money that we're not gonna be able to get back. And then they're gonna talk about a stimulus package. Mind you, the last stimulus package we had to pay that shit back. That's why the food prices went up. That's why the gas prices went up. Because the stimulus check that we had was the loan that we had to pay back. That wasn't free. That was not free money. And that guess what? That only targeted the lower class citizen. It didn't target everybody else. It didn't target the middle class or the rich. It only targeted the lower class. Because they know for a fact that ain't nobody gonna come for us. Ain't nobody gonna Like if we send out an SOS signal for help, nobody's gonna come for us. So that's why they're always targeting the lower class when it comes to the stimulus checks and everything else. Yeah, 6 days. The 6 days is one thing. If I had a quarantine for 6 days, okay, cool. I'll quarantine for 6 days. But quarantine for 45 days is crazy. Excuse my voice. my throat's dry. Quarantine for 45, that's too long. We talk about a whole month and some change. Absolutely fuck not. I need to be able to at least like get a work from home job. If I was gonna quarantine for that long, give me a work from home job. Now you want to smoke a blunt. Shit, with a work from home job, I'd be okay because I still be able to make money. I'm not losing money for working from home. Okay, I could clock in, use my phone, clock in, whatever the case might be, and still be able to order groceries, still be able to order household supplies, stuff to keep me entertained. I will still get paid while working from home. But if you not as fortunate as other people to get a work from home jobs, then it's gonna be a tragic trying to rebuild something that you had lost during COVID. It's gonna be a tragic. Well, blunt. I say blunt weird. But yeah, oh, accent. I have an accent. You like that? 2,000 people that told me that I had an accent. But like I said, most of my family are from Mississippi, so you probably hear a country accent. But yeah, my family they from the country, but they moved to the city, so I had a little bit of a country accent and a city accent. That I don't know. Like the OGs in my family was from Mississippi, and they moved to the city in the Midwest. Um, so with that being said, it did that's how we came here because we're originally from Mississippi. Which state is Mississippi? Mississippi is a state by itself. What you talking about? You talking about which city? Which city in Mississippi? That I don't know. I never got to that part. Yeah. And I never got to like which uh city in Mississippi that we was from. All I know is that majority of us, even I got people from my dad's side of the family that's from Mississippi as well, and still in Mississippi to this very day. But my mom's side and my dad's side are both from originally Mississippi. No, 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 never take it back. I'm sorry, I'm lying, I'm lying. My dad's side, I'm sorry. My dad's side is from Mississippi. Now, as far as my mom's side, I was told that we are originally from somewhere in Alabama. I don't know. I be getting told so many different stories. I'm sorry for the mix up, but yeah, my mom's side, I was told that we are originally from Alabama, but my dad's side is from Mississippi. Yeah, Mississippi is a state. That's a state. I don't know. You heard that one song from P Valley. And I quickly, quickly, I quickly, quickly, I hump I Mississippi pride, pride. I don't know if you heard that song, but hmm. Just say lazy girl. That's all you need to know. Lazy girl. Just say lazy girl. 'Cause I changed my YouTube name a lot. So back when I did change my YouTube name, I would try to find a YouTube name that would stick, Cause it was originally Everyday Humble. This actually my second YouTube channel. I had another channel that was originally named Everyday Humble, but I had changed it over the past years. Try to find something that was original and something that would actually stick. But before then, like I had a name called Beauty Ethics Adventures, and I might not change that because I wasn't doing a lot of adventures. I was doing a lot of the beauty part. I was doing a lot of beauty because I did makeup and hair, and nails, but I wasn't really going out adventuring. So that's why I changed it. What time is it here? It's 2:55 a.m. It's 2:55 a.m. And then I do got a TikTok account. My TikTok account name is Lazy Girl as well. If you type in Lazy Girl, you'll be able to find me. And then you'll be able to find a lot of my content on there as well. I don't really consider myself as a content creator because I don't really be putting my 10 toes down on it. I just been like posting little shit. But I used to do content. I don't know if y'all would call it content, but I used to do some kind of content on my YouTube channel. I'm not on Instagram like that. I got a couple pictures on Instagram, but I'm not on Instagram like that. How old is you? I'm 45, like 26. I ain't even 35. I'm 35. I'll be 36 in December. I'm a December baby, Sagittarius. Shit, now the fuck it's not. I wish I was. Well, wish I was actually born in November. Anything, if anything, I wish I was born in November rather than December. Cause then, like, I could celebrate my birthday on Thanksgiving and eat like I never ate before. The one thing about me, I love to eat. Like I'm a big girl. Okay, I am a big girl. I love to eat. The December 5th. Ooh, that air feels good. The air from my I got a fan going.
I got a fan going though, and it's cooling down outside. 'Cause yesterday it was hot as a motherfucker. But it's cooling down now, so we got decent air. But this is a good ass fan because I used to leave this fan on all day and all night, and it never once blew out. I forgot how long I had this fan on. It was like a year. It's been like almost a year now. 1 or 2 years since I had this fan, I believe. And it's still going. Like it's still going. I wound up getting this fan from Target, and it was on sale for like $20. So $25. So I went ahead and snatched that motherfucker. You got the fan and the air conditioner on. I can't do both. Mm-mm. I either gotta have the fan on or I had the air conditioner on, but I can't do both. Yeah, that fan blows out a different type of air than the air conditioner. Cause that fan will blow out that summer air. Like, but it's just how can I explain it? Don't you hate when it's hot outside and then you go for a walk, you come in, then you get tired, and then the air for the fan gets you blown in your face, and then you just like go to sleep afterwards. Yeah, that's how I be. But this air for the fan right now is blowing out cool air. It was hot yesterday, and then over the weekend it was hot as well. It was hot Sunday and Saturday it was hot. Oh, you must be anemic. You must be anemic because I know some people that sleep with the fan on. I can't sleep with the fan on. I cannot sleep with the fan on 24/7. Now in the summertime, yeah, but like in the winter, in the fall, no. I get sick easily. Like easy. I would catch a sore throat and people would think I got COVID. The last time I caught a sore throat, it was a scratchy throat. I wanna catch a COVID. But nowadays you can't just catch a sore throat. If you catch a sore throat, people gotta assume you got COVID. Yep, West Coast. It's really called Midwest. It's like going I don't know how to explain it, but it's like going west, but it's something like that. Where I'm at. Well, if you say Lake Michigan, you should automatically know where's that at. Because that's the only clue I'm gonna give out. Lake Michigan. Just think about Lake Michigan. Think about Marsalis. Think about Harold's. Think about JJ's. Um, think about Navy Pier. I think you with Navy Pier, you should automatically know where I'm at. Just by me mentioning those things. I'm not saying how big I am. You try to be funny. I'm not saying how big I am. You're gonna have to go on my TikTok page to find out. Matter of fact, you know what? Scratch the restaurants. Scratch the restaurants. Just Google Navy Pier. Google Navy Pier and Google Lake Michigan, and just by those two items, you should be able to find out where I'm at. You are an hour and you basically got an hour ahead of me. So you might be in Detroit. You either in Detroit or somewhere near Detroit. If I'm not mistaken. That's or Atlanta. Atlanta is my other Atlanta, Georgia is my other choice. Atlanta? Oh, I know. Oh, that's why you did say you was in the Caribbean. That's why I almost forgot. I almost forgot you did say you're in the Caribbean. Yeah, islands. Wait, so how is it 4-3 there and my end is and saying that you are? I don't want to say you say you Barbados. If you in Barbados, there ain't no way that me and you are the same time zone. If you are in Barbados, there's no way that me and you are in the same time zone. You trying to throw me off? Barbados ain't nowhere near here, as far as I know. That's on the other side of the country. That's a whole nother country by itself. I said New York. No, I said Atlanta. What did I say? I said Atlanta. I said Detroit. Hold on, bruh. I'm sorry. I had to go check something real quick. But what I just found out, you guys don't do daylight saving times. Why I just found out that Barbados don't do daylight saving times. Cause I'm over here thinking, wait, ain't y'all supposed to be like a couple hours ahead of us? Like 10 hours ahead of us or something? And then I went and Google it. It said that now y'all are an hour ahead of us. So like, what the fuck? I did not know y'all was a whole hour ahead of us. I was just literally over here guessing shit, but trying to find out y'all really are an hour ahead of us. That's crazy. Am I tweaking? Did I fall down a rabbit hole or something? I'm literally just finding out this shit. I'm here. I'm here. Can you hear me? Type one if you can. Type one if you can hear me. Okay. I had to go and Google some shit real quick. You know what? Let me get off. I'm getting off. Oh, okay. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. I went and Googled Barbados time zone. The Caribbean island that you said it was fun. I went and Googled the time zone over there. Yeah, you was telling the truth.
You were similar to y'all are an hour ahead of us, and on top of that, y'all don't use daylight saving times. See, my city, we use daylight saving times over here. So now we just gain an extra hour, but in the wintertime, we lose an hour. So like over here, the sun in the summertime don't set until like 7:30, 8 o'clock. But in the wintertime, the sun sets around 6, around 6 o'clock. I'm gonna say around 5:30 to 6 o'clock. That's when the sun sets in the wintertime. Yeah, I don't know how to do that on YouTube yet. The voice talk. Oh yeah, you should can. It's something called StreamYard. We go on StreamYard and talk like that. But I don't have my laptop. My laptop be in the shop for a whole month now. I would have to set it up, and then I would have to drop the link, and you would click on the link that I would add you to the page. I would have to set it up for you to get up here. No, I wound up buying this $50 laptop off of Amazon, and my laptop went out, and I couldn't figure out what was wrong with it. So I wanted to take it to the shop, and they said that it was something wrong with my battery thing. So I had to pay to get a whole new battery. And if I would have known that it was my battery for my laptop, I would have did it myself. I would have went and installed a whole new battery. It saved $45 just by me doing it myself because I used to take computer classes, and I would build computers and tear down computers and rebuild them again from scratch. So that's how I know how to do it. But I hate that I wasted $45 buying a battery for somebody else to install when I could have just did that shit myself. Yeah, save some money. Whole time I could have really just did it myself. That's how gifted I am. My aunt had put me into this computer class not a time ago. At first, I didn't want to go, but she made me go because I was in the house too much. But then, like, I was learning a whole new skill of tearing down computers and building computers. So now I know how to build computers from scratch. But I want to take a refresher course. I want to take a refresher course because I wanted to actually come on YouTube and show people how to build computers from scratch. But I wound up forgetting like a lot of the steps that I did to get to that point. But by the time I can get back to the original person that taught me how to do that, they wound up getting into some legal issues that had something to do with COVID. When somebody had come to the same computer class that I went to learn how to build computers up from scratch. Oh, somebody had went there after I left some years ago, and they want to get it sued because the class was originally in the basement area, and somebody was there, and I guess somebody in the class had caught COVID and brought it to the class, and somebody in the class wound up getting infected, and um, so they wound up suing that company, and I think the company shut down and no longer existed. But it was a free class. It was a free class that then you was able to earn you a computer at the end. That's the computer at the end. But yeah, some shit had run up happening, and he had to close the class down for a while. Yeah, that will be some good content, but I gotta take a refresher course. Go pee, y'all wait. Oh shit, my bad. I accidentally clicked the mute button. That was my bad. That's how I did click the mute button. $2. We been on live for 2 hours. We got 15 more minutes. I'm gonna try to do 15 minutes and then I'm getting off. Alright. I'm tired. My voice. I sound like a street dude. There's nothing girly about my voice at all. I sound like a street dude. Okay. I don't know if I'm gonna be on tomorrow, but okay. Oh, okay. I mean, like, yeah, that's the type of vibe I'll be trying to give off. Oh no, it's some new features that YouTube is doing. So like when you go live, they got these Q&A questions, they got these little games, these little games that you can play alive with your fans and stuff. So that's some new shit YouTube doing. I don't think I'm gonna make it to the extra 15 minutes because I'm getting sleepy. And it's 3:20. It's 3:21. So I might just go ahead and get off. Thank you. Everybody watching, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribe. I'm trying to get to 5K. I'm trying to get to 5K. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. You go ahead. Help me get to that 5,000 because we almost there. We are almost there. And I'm going to try to find some more shit for us to talk about tomorrow as well. So we just won't be on live doing nothing. Until then, thank you for coming through. Okay. Thank you for coming through. Highly appreciate it. Okay. Thank you for everybody that's watching my channel that came through. Thank you for everybody that liked the live stream. Okay. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow. If not, then I'll see you guys the next day.